Come on in here. I am live from my porch, listening to some Alice Coltrane in the background. If y'all don't know who Alice Coltrane is, get to know her. I love her music. It's so spiritual. That feminine essence in jazz music. She brings that true feminine energy to jazz. And what the fuck is going on with YouTube? Last time I went live, YouTube didn't send notifications out until like 6 minutes into me talking. What's up, Marilyn? I remember when I was on YouTube Live when I did that show with when I was talking about Nia Long, I was talking for like 8 minutes. And then people was like, yo, what's up? I'm like, where the fuck was y'all at? They're like, YouTube just gave us notifications. So yeah, y'all gonna be in here pretty soon. I appreciate you, Marilyn, for joining the chat room. It's gonna fill in a little bit. Lately, YouTube has been sending out notifications on Down syndrome time. It's like, I think the person that works the YouTube notification bell be licking windows. And nigga just, that slow motherfucker. Whoever works the YouTube notification center, them motherfuckers just eat mustard with no hot dogs. And they be my moderators too. The people I know be watching my show regularly. I didn't get my notifications at all. Whatever. Well, we doing a family check-in. Seeing how y'all doing. Q&A. What's on y'all mind? What's going on with y'all? Cause one thing I want to talk about today was, I'm going to get started as YouTube sends out its notifications. I'm going to get started. You got to maintain a positive attitude no matter what's going on. You got to be positive about it. And when I say positive, not that fake positive shit niggas do. I ain't talking about that church positive. You got Sister Cheryl in church that walk around that big ass smile on her face when we know she mad at the fact that Brother Matthews has been sleeping with the assistant choir director. But they still come to church every day with that big ass smile on their face. How you doing, Brother Jonathan? You don't want to be, that ain't what I'm talking about when I say keep a positive attitude. Y'all know what I'm talking about. See people all the time. You be at work, and that person that's always being bubbly. Being bubbly don't mean, just because you being bubbly, don't mean you have a positive attitude. All right? It's not external. You see this shit all the time with bubbly people. Hi, how's it going? Yeah. Like, don't be that person either. When I'm talking about staying positive, that means when people say things to you and that you know they're trying to cut you down, you maintain your positive point of view of yourself, your positive outlook. We talk a lot about outlook, but we don't talk a lot about the inside look, looking within yourself. Maintaining a positive attitude is being self-assured no matter what other people say. And what happens is, it's going to seem like, because this kind of happened to me recently, the better day you have, it's almost like the next day you're going to have interactions with people, get phone calls from people, and them throwing shots at you. And they're going to throw shots at where they perceive you're vulnerable. Like for me, it's obvious for me. I'm a fat nigga. So it's obvious that the world thinks that's my vulnerability because most of the world is vain. They don't know that when they throw those shots, that doesn't do anything for me. Not to say that I'm not vulnerable. I do have areas of my life that I am vulnerable and I am sensitive about. But being fat ain't one of them. And so you see that. You know what I mean? And you understand, and for you, if you're a person out there with a big ass forehead, they're gonna talk about your forehead. And they're gonna say something about your forehead and the fact that your forehead look like a quarter of a basketball. For other people, what's up, Daniel? For other people, you might have one big nostril, one little nostril. Whatever it is your thing that people perceive is wrong with you, they may say, okay, you broke, or you live in a 1-bedroom apartment when you should live in a 10-bedroom house. Whatever the fuck people just basically voice their own insecurities and project that onto you. The point of that is to bring you down to the level that they see themselves. And that's what I want people to understand. When you riding high and you doing good, and you feeling good, and then people out there that you know are so-called cool with you, they say things and you feel that venom coming off of what they say. You can feel when somebody's shooting venom at you. You can feel it. You know the difference between the jokey joke and some shit that got some heat on it. You know the difference between someone just saying something passing, like for women, you know the difference between when another woman's complimenting you genuinely and when she's probing and her compliment is loaded with something that's meant to make you feel a certain way or meant to ask a certain question with them probing. You got to know that when you're faced with that, you got to know that you're confronting other people's insecurities about themselves. What's up, Kurt? 8 minutes in, we still ain't getting notifications. I like that. What's up, Selma Smurf? So why am I having this conversation? It's because, you know me, I ain't perfect. So when I go through things and I see things and I kind of see what's going on and I learn something new, I like to pass out what I learned new. Because again, at the end of the day, we are here to help each other. If all of us teach us something that we learned through experience, an issue that they've overcome, between me learning my pieces that I've figured out how to overcome and you sharing what you figured out how to overcome, we could all come together and learn how to overcome our collective issues. So what you see happens in life, usually after you have a really good time, a really good day, a really good experience, it's usually something that some bullshit follows that. But here's where a lot of us go wrong. A lot of us see the problem and we allow that problem to define our experience. That's where we go wrong. When we allow that issue that we faced or that set of issues that we faced to define our experience and define our time and define who we are. That's where we go wrong. You got to know when you're facing issues with other people, when other people confront you with issues, you have to know that you're being confronted by their issues, their internal issues that they feel within themselves. That's why, like, for all you pretty women out here, and I'm only speaking to the pretty women, I'm not speaking to you hoof mouth chicks, and I'm not, no disrespect if you got a hoof mouth, but let me speak to the pretty women. No disrespect to nobody. I'm a fat nigga, so I understand if I'm listening to somebody talk and they say, hey, we gonna wear tank tops and show our abs, I'm already knowing they ain't talking about me. The last thing you wanna do is see my fat ass in a tank top. So I'm already knowing if they like, hey, we gonna wear tank tops and go to the pool and show our abs. Dwan be like, okay, yeah. I guess this part of the conversation ain't for me. No hard feelings. But for you pretty women out there, what's the thing that happens? Just say you a pretty woman and you can be minding your own business. Your thoughts are somewhere else. What's the thing they say when people don't, other chicks and insecure dudes confront you and you don't respond to them in any way other than bubbly? They be like, oh, she stuck up. Oh, she thinks she better than me. Oh, she thinks she better than the nigga. She thinks she too good to talk for a nigga. When really, she was thinking about, am I gonna eat fried chicken and fried fish tonight when I get home? She deep in thought. She already looking all pretty, deep in thought about something else. And then here you come with a goofy ass question, and she kind of gets shocked into and responds a certain way. The first thing them other people are gonna say is she thinks she's too good, or she thinks she's better. That always, always, always is the default response to when pretty women respond in a way that isn't totally accommodating to whoever they're addressing. Again, that's people's insecurity. And speaking of insecure, Larry Goodwell in the chat room, he feels insecure anytime he sees a set of boxing gloves on the table. And I'm in the room. Nigga Larry, if I pick them boxing gloves up, nigga, he's about to spend the rest of the night asleep. And might wake up with 2 black eyes. That's how you know somebody's insecure. I was in a gym with Larry once, it's like 10 years ago. And the gym had a boxing ring. I got in that boxing ring. That boy Larry started talking to me like a Christian. That nigga knew better than to talk reckless that day. Anyway, back to what I was talking about. People will come to you and dump their bullshit onto you. And if you allow it to happen, it'll get you in a bad mood. Don't allow it to happen. What we talking about right now is keeping a positive attitude. That positive attitude is being reassured of the greatness that you have within. Others don't have to see it. The people that's talking down to you, the people that are trying to cut you down, you don't have to flash on them. Although sometimes flashing is necessary. But when you flash, make sure you flash hard. Make sure when you do flash on somebody, it's enough to blind their motherfucking ass. Don't just flash a little bit, nigga, hell nah. Nigga, put a mirror and reflect the sun directly into their motherfucking eyes so they can't see straight for the rest of the goddamn day. If you're gonna flash on somebody, do it all the goddamn way right. But life is a paradox. You don't have to always flash. But when you do, make it right. So just know when people feel they have to cut you down to make themselves feel good, you're dealing with people with their own unsolved internal trauma. And I'm not here to say you're perfect. I'm not perfect. I have unsolved internal traumas too. But I at least am man of enough. I said man of enough. It's always going to be at least 1 or 2 times every time I speak where I'll fuck up a whole goddamn word. I said, I have my own unsolved internal traumas, but I am man enough to face them and not go around projecting my traumas onto other people and cutting them down. When I see my unsolved internal traumas, I'm trying to figure out a way to solve them hoes. But everybody ain't like that. So they come to you and they tell you you ain't shit. They may not say that directly, but they tell you, you have something to say. They cut you off. They don't value what you say. They berate you. Go back. This is what I encourage everybody in this room. Hey, did y'all get y'all notifications hella late? Because YouTube, nigga, because usually when I go live right now, there'll be way more people in this motherfucker right now. Probably my title. My title is corny. My title is corny as hell. I probably should change that title up. But anyway, when you deal with people who go back and listen to this song by Michael Jackson called Money. Oh, you say you don't get notification? Yeah. Because YouTube, I just noticed lately, and like I was saying, people who came in here later, I noticed that in my last video that I did when I was reading my cards on Nia Long and them, I was talking for like 8 minutes before people came in the chat room. And then people was like, my mods were like, I'm just now getting my notification. I'm like, shit, I've been going for like 9 minutes. So shit like that been going on lately. I've been on for 17 minutes so far. But go back, if you want to listen to a jewel, that's why, go back and listen to the song Money by Michael Jackson. It's on the History album. You said you never get my notifications, Emmanuel? See, yeah. But write this down. Go and listen to the song by Michael Jackson called Money. It's on the History album. You're going to have to listen to that song with really, really good headphones. If you have a good sound system, cool. But don't listen to this shit on your iPhone. Don't listen to this shit on those $19 headphones. If you got some Apple earbuds, perfect. Or I got AirPod Maxes. I love my AirPod Maxes. If you have AirPods, that's perfect. Listen to me, your AirPods. It gotta be some high quality. Hell, I was about to say, don't even listen to them hoes on Beats. Beats are trash. But listen to that song and listen to it closely. Because Michael Jackson's talking about his experience in the music industry and the backstabbers and what he's seen people do for money. Michael Jackson actually raps on that song, and his flow's kind of nice. And he's rapping, he's singing, but he's also doing some very slick things in the background. And that's why I say you have to listen to the song through your AirPods. Because as the song progresses, he keeps layering it. But Michael Jackson is saying different things on every layer. On one layer, he's just sort of whispering, they do it for the money. They don't care. They do it for the money. They don't care. They do it for the money. That's on one layer. On the next layer, as you get towards the end of the song, he's speaking in his natural voice, but he's speaking very low. He's saying, if you're going to earn it with integrity. If you're going to earn it with dignity. And then on another layer under that, he's saying, he's calling out the names of the bloodsuckers. Michael Jackson, he's very low. As you get to the last 16 bars of the song, he's saying, the Vanderbilts, the Rothschilds, And he's naming the names of the parasitic elite. And on another level, he's talking about how he has a line where he says, watch out for the idle jabbers because they're the backstabbers. I'm just telling y'all to go back. I broke the song down on my episode, Michael Jackson, the Militant, on Incense and Ashtrays. And for those of you who don't follow Incense and Ashtrays on Spotify or Mixcloud, do it. I've been taking a hiatus all summer from Incense and Ashtrays because I needed a break. I just needed a break. I'm gonna get back on it. I just needed a break. I invested so much emotional energy into my Black American music family tree. You don't understand how much emotion went into that tree. I put my heart and soul into that. So I just needed some time off and just listen to the music myself. I like listening to music with y'all, but music really is my therapy. Music is how I meditate. Music is how I ground myself. Music is how I get into my own thoughts. Music is my medicine. It's my therapy. So I just been all summer, just when I turn my music on, it's just been my medicine. I ain't really been doing Incense and Ashtrays much. But I'm going to get back on it as we get into October. But go back and listen to Michael Jackson, the Militant. I have more than enough Incense and Ashtrays that ain't none of you niggas listen to. I can tell because I look at the numbers. I got more than enough Incense and Ashtrays on Spotify and Mixcloud for you guys to go back. I've broken down easily. I've broken down so far hundreds of hours of music on that channel. So go listen to it. But in closing on this tangent that I'm going on, Michael Jackson, he really go listen to the whole History album. Every song on that album, he's giving you a message. A very, very strong message. But when you listen to that song, Money, just listen to it like 8 times. Matter of fact, next time you get on a mushroom trip, listen to it then. Right now, I'm just on wine and weed. Wine and weed is good enough most of the time. But for you niggas that take shrooms, next time you do a shroom trip, listen to Michael Jackson's History album, this too, and listen to what that man was saying. This shit gonna flip your world 3-dimensional. Michael Jackson was really, really, really dropping real life game and how to operate in this world. But he was so slick in how he layered the messages. Some of his deepest meaning messages, he whispered. And he'll whisper that message underneath him singing on top. Michael Jackson's music was very layered like that. So Deep Impressions, I appreciate you too, Kirk Owen, and all y'all. Oh, you got the playlist there? I appreciate that. What's up, Super Gang? I appreciate that, man. So go back and really, really, really break down Michael Jackson. Really break him down. Break him down. He really left us some messages. While the news and the media, I was around back in 96. All they could talk about was fake ass allegations and what his face was looking like. We didn't protect Michael enough. Hell yeah, that's why they killed him. Michael Jackson's card and cardology. What's Michael Jackson's birthday? I did a reading on Michael. What's his card? I should know his card. No, Michael Jackson's a 10 of hearts. Michael Jackson's card is a 10 of hearts. 10 of hearts. Hearts are the emotion suite. The hearts rule 56 days of the year. The hearts rule the youthful, the youth, childhood. And anyone who's a heart, if you know anyone who's a heart, they either have a child, they're either childish or they're youthful. It's a difference between being childish and youthful. The childish is more, you a grown ass man. What the fuck you better, if you don't get your ass up, nigga. And then you have youthful, people who just are young and express themselves in a youthful way. Hearts are people who are highly emotional. If you're dealing with a heart, a five of heart, you're dealing with an unbalanced, Nia Long is a five of hearts. And that's why Nia Long don't have good relationships with people. I've never met Nia Long, but everyone that I know that has met her, none of them have anything good to say about her. I cannot confirm nor deny that because I've never met the woman, so I don't want to act like I know her. But she's a five of hearts. Five of hearts people are very emotionally unstable. They cool 1 minute, they an asshole the next. Now, if they've taken the journey to find themselves, they can balance that out and they can find balance from within. But most people don't take the journey to find themselves and stabilize themselves from within. So they lash out at other people, especially people with a card number of a 5, a 7, a 3, a 9, 7 of hearts. You don't want to fuck with a 7 of hearts. A 7 of hearts is a supreme asshole. But Michael Jackson is a 10 of hearts. That means he had a way, he has to balance his emotion with his earthly experience. And he did that. Michael Jackson was all the way tapped into what was going on here on earth. One of the advantages of a 10 of hearts person is a 10 of hearts person can see the future. A 10 of hearts person knows what's coming next. 10 of hearts birthdays are whatever Michael Jackson's birthday is, October 30th, and I think December like 26th, I think. It's somewhere in that, I think in that last, I forgot, but I know Michael Jackson's birthday, which is I think August 29th and October 30th. Those are two birthdays that the 10 of hearts rule. 10 of hearts people can make a lot of money if they tap into their intuitive nature. The problem is with the 10 of hearts is I think they have like a 2 of, I think they have a 2 of spades in their moon. Oh no, 2 of hearts in their moon, which makes them emotionally unsure and the challenge to a 10 of hearts is they're not self-assured people. They lack confidence. They too often need reassurance from other people. And we saw that issue with Michael Jackson. Man, when I read people's cards, shit. Hey, go look on my Google reviews, y'all. I got a new Google review today. I got a dope-ass Google review for somebody who I helped with their kids. And I gave them a reading. People don't be bullshitting. People leave public motherfucking reviews of my work. There we go. Drinking this wine. I should eat some of these mushrooms I got. I got a candy bar and a half of mushrooms. I got a candy bar and a half of mushrooms. I was thinking about eating the half a candy bar of mushrooms tonight. But I'm talking to you niggas. If I'm on some shrooms, I ain't talking to you motherfuckers. I'm gonna be on you. I'm gonna be listening to my goddamn Apple iTunes. If I'm on some shrooms, y'all can kiss. Let me tell y'all something. If I'm on the shroom trip, all y'all can kiss my ass. Nigga, I'm blasting off. I'm somewhere else, tapping in. Yeah, I did an MJ reading on his death. Hey, boom, I'm not smoking because I just finished. We must have just got up in here. I was smoking. What's up, Biz Marty? Hey, Biz Marty, you was killing me on 5150, nigga. Fuck you. Nigga, we ain't cool for at least a week. But really, let me tell y'all something, man. Cards are nothing to be spooked over. The same people, think about it. The same people that told you things like reading tarot cards or playing cards or getting into astrology or numerology, the same group that told you that's evil is the same group that told you your savior is a white dude with a shag. Think about that for a second, nigga. That alone should open your mind all the way up towards the esoteric sciences. You were told that's evil by people that told you Mary had a virgin birth by the Holy Spirit. And she birthed this dude in North Africa that was white with a shag. And when they needed to hide this white kid with a shag, they sent his ass down to Egypt with no suntan lotion. What's up, Amara? What's up, Taylor? Just think about that for a second. The people that told you the esoteric sciences are evil are the people that told you this white kid with a shag hid in Egypt in the days before SPF 15. Them niggas fuckers ain't had no copper tone, suntan lotion, but this white dude with a shag was walking around North Africa. Okay. And yes, Jerusalem is North Africa. That was always known as North Africa just up until the last 100 fucking years. They didn't start calling that shit the Middle East until George Bush's granddaddy and granduncle Prescott Bush and Herbert Walker, until them motherfuckers got up over there and said, we got some oil that we need from this new place we gonna call the Middle East. Ain't no thing such ain't no fucking Middle East. Hell, they don't even call themselves the Middle East. That's just North Africa. But those are the people that tell you reading playing cards or that stuff is evil. Man, I love reading cards too, man. I'm so glad I really got disciplined to learn this science. I've been decoding my life like a motherfucker. And as I've been decoding my life, look, I'm not gonna brag. It ain't no point in bragging because I'm not 20 feet towards my goal. The way I'm looking at it, my goal is still 6,000 miles away, and I'm about 20 feet towards that 6,000 mile goal. That's where I am right now in it. But these little last 20 feet that I done traveled in the last few months, I ain't by no fucking happenstance, nigga. I decoded my life with my cards. You get to see, okay, which weeks you should make moves. Okay, my week this week. Okay, I'm in the sun position, and I got a 10 of diamonds. I got a king of diamonds in my Jupiter position. So okay, that means I got to go hard with my business. Oh, I got a king of hearts over here in my Neptune. Oh, that means I need to advertise. This would be a good week to run some ads. Okay. I have a 3. My transformation this week is a 3 of clubs. That means I got some writing to do. And the crazy part about it, when you decode shit with these cards, they only confirm what you feeling. Everybody got feelings. All you niggas, everybody in here listening, you could not like cards, you could think it's creepy, but I don't give a fuck what your stance is, Christian, Hindu, Muslim, scared, not scared, don't give a fuck. Whatever your position is, everybody in here got nudges. Everybody gets a hunch. Everybody gets a notion. And it's the people that when they get that notion, they follow through with that notion and bring that notion into fruition, bring that thought into material, tangible things in this world. Those are the people who win, the people who follow the notion. So when I read my cards, the cards only confirm the nudge and notion that your monkey ass already had. That's really what it is. What's up, John ETA? If you want a reading, breakthroughas.org. Hit the book now button, and if you book it tonight, the sale ends tomorrow. Type in the product code September for 20% off. You don't have. I'm not even gonna be doing readings tomorrow because tomorrow I'm gonna be at the gun range all day tomorrow. But if you book it tomorrow, you can book for any time. Type in the product code September and get 20% off. But back to what I was saying. When I read cards and when I read other people's cards, I ain't doing no fucking magic. This shit is science. It's just confirming what you already felt. Anything I tell you, you already knew. You just was hesitating or you didn't believe it. So the cards just confirm what you already felt. That's all the cards do. That's what the cards do. They confirm what you already feeling inside. That's what they do. You're already feeling it. The cards just make you be like, damn. I knew I wanted to be a writer. How'd you know that, Dwan? Your cards told me, nigga, that's how. Shit. Your card said it. Your card said, here's this 3 of clubs. And this 3 of clubs is in Venus. Venus deals with expression. So that tells me off the bat, this nigga expresses himself through writing. It's science. But it's framed to everybody else as some mystical bullshit. So people are scared. When really it's just a tool to help you decode yourself. Yeah, I said 20 feet. My goal, if my goal is 6,000 miles away, I'm about 20 feet towards that goal. I'm telling y'all right now, I'm still on high from yesterday. Yesterday was a great motherfucking day, y'all. Man, yesterday was perfect. You ever had like a perfect day? I woke up, I did 2 readings. I love doing readings. And the reason why I like doing readings is because I help people. I fucking love helping people. One person I read, this is like their 3rd or 4th time coming back for a reading. And they told me the reason why they're back is because everything I said in the first 2 readings happened almost to the date. Let me tell y'all something. When I do readings, I don't remember none of y'all readings. I just open up. I just open up to that field. And the field tells me what to say. And I say it to you and I move the fuck on. I don't remember a goddamn thing I tell nobody in the reading. I don't be remembering y'all names. And there's no disrespect. But in order to do work like readings, you gotta tap into something internally. And there's a field to tap into. Because a card can mean anything. Again, no one card means one thing. Cards have dozens of meanings. But what that card means to you, that's when it requires me just to tap into your energy field. And that requires a lot of energy. But I love doing it because when people hit me back and be like, you really helped me, or if I'm at the end of a session and I have somebody crying during the middle of a session because I told them something that they knew they needed to hear. Like, that's the reward within itself right there. Quite honestly, if we lived in a society where money didn't matter, I'd read people for free. Hell, I do free readings on this channel all the goddamn time. I love this shit. So I got to wake up and do 2 readings yesterday. And then, nigga, I went to the Hollywood Bowl. It was a perfect night. It was like 76 degrees. At nighttime, the Free Nationals performed. The Free Nationals is one of my favorite current bands of today. They performed. And then Anderson .Paak came out and played the drums with them for one song. That was dope. And then Herbie Hancock got on stage. He had Terrence Blanchard with him. Man, it was just perfect. The music was perfect. And then at the end of the night, I told you yesterday, I met Tashina Arnold, nigga, that. And the love I felt from her when she hugged me. Tashina Arnold is so dope. And it's funny, I just talked about her on my show last week. And I didn't know, I guess I spoke her up. Because on my show last week when I was talking about the Woman King, I was talking about the dark-skinned black women who've always represented us with respect and integrity. And I always put Tashina Arnold at the top of that list. I mean, beautiful dark-skinned women. Like Hollywood tries to make dark-skinned women look like brutes. No, there are plenty of dark-skinned, beautiful black women. It's just that Hollywood don't like fucking with them like that. But Tashina Arnold for 30 years has been one of the absolute most beautiful women on TV. Funny as hell. And she's always done what she's done with respect. And that's the biggest thing. Like I told y'all before, man, look. I'm from LA, nigga. Any of y'all who watch, I'm sorry, a YouTube subscriber, the discount code is September. The discount code is September. But I'm from LA. Not to brag, but I've met everybody. There are very few entertainers that I actually want to meet that I haven't met. I've met every NBA player I wanted to meet. All of them. Matter of fact, I got so many stories with NBA players that I'm still a real nigga. I got a code of silence, so I don't tell every story. Matter of fact, I don't tell 90% of the stories that I've been in because these are people's lives and these people have children. And when I'm around celebrities, I consider their children. That's just how I get down. Like, being around a celebrity and talking about something going on in their life, to me, whatever clout I get off that, whatever YouTube numbers I get off that, it's not worth the damage of that child hearing something that could potentially lower their mom or dad in a certain way. I don't get down like that. But anyway, I've met everybody. Celebrities don't impress me. I'm born and raised in LA. Celebrities do not impress me. And they don't impress my wife either. Hell, it was so dope seeing my wife's reaction to Tashina Arnold hugging us. My wife was so happy for me and happy to meet her. And it's funny because my wife, shit, you talk about somebody who ain't impressed. I told you that story last time. My wife was like, when Babyface was a new musician, she was like 5 when he would come over the house like, man, this dude ain't got it. He ain't. My wife's dad, I mean, when I would go to Thanksgiving dinner back when people were still alive, when I used to go to their house for Thanksgiving dinner, they would have the most interesting conversations about the people that we all call gods, whether that be Michael Jackson or Diana Ross or whatever. And I'm never going to tell those stories either, because the stories my father-in-law told me or I've heard at the dinner table with my mother-in-law talking, again, those are people's lives. I won't tell those stories. But anyway, I've heard some of the dopest stories about some of the biggest icons, and I've met some of the biggest icons in my life. So Tichina Arnold being a celebrity, that doesn't impress me. What impresses me about her is how she's used her celebrity. That's what's always impressed me about her. How she uses her celebrity. A hammer can build a house, a hammer can tear a house down. Water can nourish you, it can drown you. Fire can warm you, and it could burn your neck, your motherfucking dick off, nigga. It's not what it is, it's how it's used. Celebrities do not impress me. I've been to the mansion parties. I know to leave at 9:05 p.m. Because if I stay till 10, I may see something I can't unsee. I've been to those parties. I've been to Bishop Don Magic Wand's players' balls. I've been, I don't want to name all the houses I've been to because that would be corny. I don't mean shit. Matter of fact, most actors and entertainers and athletes, these are the most insecure, unimpressive people you'd ever want to meet. If I'm going to tell you the whole truth. Oftentimes, these are the most insecure, unimpressive people you'd ever want to meet. Having a conversation with a pro ball player or a celebrity entertainer. Most of these people in the spotlight are not impressive. And for those of you who saw 5150, y'all saw me say that about Corey. And I meant that about Corey Holcomb. Corey Holcomb is the exception. He's a dude that just happens to be one of the greatest ever at what he does, but Corey's a human being. Y'all know there have been times I've been out in front of the Improv. Me, Corey, Boo Capone, whatever, we out there cracking jokes, and it'd end up just being me and Corey. And it's like 1 a.m. and 1:30 a.m. I remember one time it was a dude who was out there. He was kind of like laughing on the side, but his Uber kept canceling. And so he's still out there, and the Ubers kept canceling on him. And then everyone's gone. It's like 1:30. I'm like, Corey, I'm getting ready to go. Like, I ain't even thinking about this nigga. You know, I'm over here. I'm done shit. I'm a kind-hearted guy, whatever. But I'm not thinking about this nigga. I'm like, I'm ready to go home to my wife, shit. But Corey like, man, I'm going to say here, I don't want to leave young bro out here. I was like, yeah, you right. And I kind of just stayed with Corey. And Corey's like, bro, you good? I'll give you a ride home. And dude's like, nah, my Uber be here like in 2 minutes. And then like the Uber canceled again. Then he was like, he was still sitting there with me and Corey talking. Corey like, bro, you good? He's like, my Uber be here in 17 minutes. And then Corey looked at me. He was like, man. He was like, yeah, bro. Man, just hop in my car, man. I'll take you home. Where you going? Corey had to go north. The dude lived south. Because when I heard the dude tell me the address, I knew exactly where he was talking about. And Corey had just told me where he had to go next. And Corey took the dude at like 1:30 in the morning, some young black kid, young man in his 20s. And that shows you how much of a real cat Corey Holcomb is. How many black men in here, press the number 1, if when you was in your 20s, black men in their 40s and 50s was damn low-key scared of you if they didn't know you. If you a black man in here, press number 1 if you dealt with that in your 20s. The men in their 40s and 50s acting low-key scared of you like they don't want to talk to you. See, y'all pressing the number one. Y'all know this shit's real. Corey didn't act scared of that young man. He embraced that young man and took him where he needed to go. That's who Corey Holcomb really is. So Corey impresses me to be the level of greatness that he is and be that level of a man. Y'all can get into the drama and all that shit, whatever. I don't give a fuck. The nigga Biz Martinez said they still act scared when I'm not wearing a suit. That's who Corey Holcomb is to me. I saw Corey in that moment. I said, okay, yeah, this cat different. I'm not impressed by celebrities. Look, you talking to the same dude who back in, and I don't know if Larry left, but Larry's in here, he'll tell you, if we're talking 2000, anywhere from 2005 to 2014 in LA, I got married in 14, and I just stopped going out. And not because my wife told me to stop going out. I just love being at home with my wife. So it's just more fun being with her. My wife never even asked me. Matter of fact, we were talking about this recently. She thought I would still be, she just figured once we got married, I would still be in the club 4 or 5 nights a week. Because that's just how I used to be. And she totally expected me to continue being that way. And she never asked me to stop. I stopped on my own. Because I value what I have at home so much. But anyway, from 2005 to 2014, anybody who knows me, I'll go to the front of the line at the club. I don't wait in line, not DwannBrown. And I didn't have no YouTube platform. I wasn't popular. Nigga, I was working with kids on the weekend, volunteering. And by day, I was a motherfucker. I did loans. I played the drums also, but the bands I played in weren't popular. I never played like in a popular band. All the bands I played in were like very unpopular. I didn't have any kind of a public profile, but I had respect. I just get along with people well. I've always known the right people to get what I want in this city. Whether it be I know the owner of a club, I know the general manager of that club, or sometimes I just knew the door person. And I would always know at least 1 or 2 bartenders in every club. And I can go through Hollywood. I would go to, people who know in 2009, if you were me, we're gonna club hop. We're gonna go like to 3 or 4 different clubs. I'm not gonna get to the club till like 11:30. I'm gonna stay at the first one for like 30, get my free drink, stay there for like 30 minutes, and I'm gonna go to the next club down the street, stay there for like an hour, then leave and go to the next club. So for me, I have a different relationship with Hollywood than most people. Hollywood was good to me. And a lot of this time I was broke, especially like 2009, I was broke as fuck. 2008, nigga, I was so goddamn broke, nigga. I had filed in bankruptcy. Nigga, all I had was $50. I was broke as fuck. But when I was at my brokest, the Hollywood club scene really did me right. It really did me right. I can say that forever. The Hollywood nighttime club scene, when I was at my brokest, when I had no money to my name, it treated me right. So I ain't got nothing bad to say about the Hollywood party and Hollywood club scene. But that got me hella cool with everybody. And All-Star Weekend, I was at All-Star Weekend every year for like 10 years in a row. I've talked to Kobe. I've talked to Michael Jordan. I've smoked cigars with Michael Jordan, y'all. I don't tell that story. How many niggas can say they smoked a cigar with Michael Jordan? And what do I do when I get on here? I don't do nothing but talk shit about Michael Jordan either. I'm not gonna kiss that man's ass because I met him. People in here like Kenneth Berry. You've heard the story. I was at the Michael Jordan party when Michael Jordan flamed Chameleonaire Go back and watch that video with Chameleonaire talking about that night with Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan blowing him off when he asked for the autograph. I was 10 feet from that shit when it happened. I've had a wonderful life. Long before this YouTube thing, I've had a very wonderful life. I had nothing but gratitude. Why am I saying all this? When I met Tashina Arnold, I met someone who was more than just a celebrity. Celebrities are basic people to me. No disrespect to the celebrities out there, but most of them are very basic, very vain, and very and highly insecure. And then there are others who are self-assured. But most of them will do anything for the role. They'll say anything. They'll play up these abusive and abrasive stereotypes about us. And Tashina Arnold, she is right in that pocket because she's a darker skinned black woman. So I know she's been told to say things with an attitude a certain way. I know she's been asked to play certain roles just because of the color of her skin. And I think I've seen everything she's ever done. I may have missed something. I don't know. I think I've seen everything she's ever done. But I've never seen her in that mold of the stereotype. And that means so much to me because I love black people. I love people so much. I love black people so much. I love black women so much. And my wife would tell you, it bothers me how black women are portrayed on TV. One of my pet peeves, and that's why I don't really watch TV. I'm either on YouTube or I'm in my music. And I'm usually in my music. I stay in my music. I can't really watch TV like that. Because every time you see a motherfucking black woman on TV, she's snapping her neck. She rolling her eyes. A black woman could be selling soap. My favorite soap is Dawn. You be like, damn, bitch. The white woman be like, if you want clean hands, use Dawn soap. Then they get the Latina woman, I use Dawn soap for my children. Then they get the Asian woman, she got the pleasant smile, Dawn soap. It keeps my hand dry. Then they cut to the black woman, I use Dawn, bitch. You be like, goddamn, all right. Am I lying, people? Am I lying? Y'all stop me when I'm lying. Ain't that what we see? Every time a black woman, even the light-skinned black woman, but especially the dark-skinned black woman, when they get on TV, it's, when my son get a headache, we give him Tylenol. Huh. Ain't that how they do it? Yo, y'all see Jupiter back there? Let me angle it up. I'm a astronomy nerd. Y'all see right there? That's Jupiter. Go outside and look at Jupiter. Connect to the universe, y'all. We're interstellar beings. We really are. Sometimes you got to step outside and look at the world that you're in. You got Jupiter right there. You got Saturn right there. You got, finally, we're in the spring. Well, not yet. It's still too early. Well, you on the East Coast can see it. You guys can see the Orion constellation right now. Those 3 stars in the belt of Orion are 1,100 light years away. Then you see the red giant Betelgeuse 682 light years away. And if you're on the East Coast, you probably can see, East Coast niggas, y'all gonna start being able to see Sirius in about 2 hours. West Coast, we ain't gonna be able to see Sirius till about 3 in the morning. But yeah, I love this star shit. But anyway, back to Tashina Arnold. When we look at through the history and how the It's like, another reason why I have so much respect for her, because the reason why you guys never saw me in those sketches, those are my friends that do those sketches. I mean, my man Big Ja just ordered like 8 shirts from me last week. Big Ja is my friend. We don't hang out every day. We never have hung out every day. But when Big Ja would be in a rough spot, he knew he can call me. And I answered. And likewise with him. This how cool me and Big Ja is. I invited him to a Super Bowl party at my parents' house. I didn't really bring people to my parents. Like when I would do certain things at my parents' house, I would kind of keep the crowds little. People I didn't know like that. I would only be people I really, really know to my parents' house. This is like 2010. Big Jock came to a Super Bowl party at my parents' house. I could have been in his videos, but sketch comedy ain't my thing. And Daphne, me and Daphne Springs, she's very popular on YouTube. Me and Daphne Springs used to really roll together. She did, matter of fact, I need to get back to doing interviews. She did this show when I used to do interviews with other comics. Anytime I call Daphne, she's come on this show to interview and talk. I just haven't, the day that I named this show Hotepish, like when I had the idea to do it and I announced it, Daphne was on the show because it used to be called the D Brown Hour. And I was like, I think I'm gonna change the show to Hotepish. And Daphne was on the show. Like, Daphne and Big Ja, those are my friends. But I was so jaded, I didn't do their sketches. And it wasn't because of them. It's because I was so jaded. And y'all know why I was jaded? God damn, that truck sounds like it's carrying a spaceship. God damn. Well, anyway, I was jaded. And this is the reason why I was jaded. Everybody that wanted to do a sketch with me being a big nigga, they always wanted me to be the goofy ass, bummy ass security guard. Or the goofy ass, bummy ass fat nigga who was doing some goofy shit. If you look hard enough out there on the internet, there's sketches of me doing some goofy shit, especially some of my early All Def sketches. All Def used to call me when they first got started. But every time All Def called me, they wanted me to do some goofy ass fat nigga shit. And I did a couple of those, like, just because it was new, 2011, 2012. I did a couple of them. But I was like, you know what? This ain't me. I was getting booked at the Laugh Factory, getting booked at the Comedy Union regularly, J-Spot. And they liked my corny, like, not gonna say corny, but like more funny, surface level jokes. But then they didn't like when I got political. And I stopped being political for a little while on stage. But I said, you know what? This ain't me. So I turned my back on it all. I said, fuck Hollywood, fuck these sketches. So by the time Daphne and Big Ja, by the time they shit really started catching traction, if I was being wise, I would have called them up and gotten one of their sketches. And they would have said yes. But I was so jaded. I was so, like, sort of disenchanted with it all. I said, you know what? Fuck all this shit. I'm gonna have to take the long route. I'm not going this mainstream route. I see how they do fat niggas. I gotta be if I'm gonna make it in this shit, I gotta be a dumbass buffoon. I gotta be the fucking bumbling idiot. I gotta talk stupid. I gotta act stupid. Even if it means getting on these sketches with All Def Digital, I got to do some dumb, stupid shit. I was in the early days of the All Def before that shit blew. Before Kev on Stage even got there. That's why I don't know Kev on Stage. I was doing shit with All Def before he was even there. That's why I don't know him. I know everybody else, but I don't know him. I was there for all that shit. But I didn't like the way they was playing me. I didn't like what I had to do to get that access. It didn't feel right in my heart and my spirit. So I could have maybe stayed in it and did what I could do to change and pick the right role. But I actually got jaded and I said, fuck it. If I gotta go the long route, if it takes me 10 years to build up a following, while all my companions build up followers faster, then that's the way it's gonna have to fucking be. Me, Craig, Daphne, Brent Taylor, Tahir Moore. Tony Baker was a little older than us. He had been in the game a little longer than my class, but Doughboy, all the niggas that everybody love. We was all at 500 Instagram followers, 1,500 Facebook friends at the same time. Those brothers made some good moves. They didn't get jaded like me. I'm not here to say that they were done. They did the right thing. They pushed through it. I said, fuck it. I'm going to have to go the other way. I'm going to have to get in through the back door. Because this front door, I'm not going to do what it takes to walk through this front door. So I said all that to say, when I see someone like a Tashina Arnold still getting work, Martin, Everybody Hates Chris, the neighbors, the neighborhood, and everything in between, Little House of Horrors, and do it and not have to buffoon herself to do it. That's why I have such a level of reverence and respect for her. That right there, because she did it in a way that if I were to ever do it mainstream, that's the only, I would have followed in her footsteps. I don't mind being funny. I don't even mind being corny. I could say some dumb shit from time to time, but I'm not gonna sell my people short, and I'm not going to sample myself into opportunities. 80% of the entertainers that I've come across in my life, they'll do whatever the fuck. And that's why I have more respect for people like Brother Kaba Kamene, Dr. Clyde Winters, Tariq Nasheed, Jason Black, Vicky Dillard. They're not doing whatever it took to get to where they got. They stayed on a motherfucking square. I like that. Dr. John Henry Clark. These are the stars to me. Ivan Van Sertima, Dr. James Smalls. These are the celebrities to me. Those are my icons. Those are the people who, when I think of them, my heart skips a beat. Kevin Durant and James Harden and Kyrie Irving are my three favorite basketball players to watch play basketball. I met all three. Matter of fact, I knew James Harden when he was, I never knew him in high school. I remember him when he was in high school. Me and one of his cousins was hella cool. I remember seeing him around. I've been to party with James Harden. I don't know him personally, but he's cool. Kevin Durant, party with him. I remember being in the elevator with Kevin Durant, his first All-Star game. And I remember his agent asking him how it went. And I think it was All-Star weekend, and I think that was like it was either Vegas or New Orleans. I've been to so many goddamn All-Star weekends, I get confused. It was either Vegas or New Orleans. That was Kevin Durant's first All-Star weekend. And I was there. And I was there when his agent got to ask him how it felt getting on a court with Kobe Bryant for the first time. And I remember hearing Kevin Durant's honest answer as we went up to Sheraton. Usually when the NBA has events, especially All-Star Weekend, y'all, just let y'all know, usually they fuck with the Sheraton. There's a lot of times in the NBA, when they're in your town, they either the Sheraton or the Ritz-Carlton. Sometime in LA, they have the Beverly Wilshire. But I've had these experiences. Kyrie Irving, when Kyrie was a rookie, I knew somebody that was on the team, and I got to be around Kyrie Irving as a rookie and see how that man think. I love these cats for basketball. But outside of basketball, I don't give a damn about these niggas. I ain't give a fuck about none of these niggas during the off season. Now when the season starts, Kyrie Irving, let's go, nigga. James Harden, let's go. But when the game is over with, I'm be talking to you niggas. I'm gonna fuck. But people like Dr. Clyde Winters, Dr. Clyde Winters to me that's Moses. Dr. Clyde Winters is Moses, leading people's minds out of darkness into the light. God, I'm understand, Moses was an allegory. Moses was an allegory on the journey of inner knowledge of self, to find yourself. That's why Moses traveled in the wilderness for 40 years. Go look up on Google Maps and type in motherfucking Cairo to Jerusalem. Nigga, that shit ain't no 40-year walk. Moses is an allegory. 40 years in the wilderness. Most people don't really find out who they are till about the age of 40. Let's tell the truth. You don't really understand. You have a good idea. But for anyone who's over 40, press the number one. If you're over 40, then when you hit that 40, you really realize before 40, you didn't know shit compared to what you knew after 40. Press the number one if you've had that epiphany. When you cross 40, you really look up and be like, you know what? Yo, man, I had this all fucked up this whole time. And it's like you wake up at 40 and you really see like, yo, you just got a different respect. You know why? Because in cards, when I read the cards, everybody lives their lives in 13-year cycles. Your Mercury card is from 0 to 13. 13 to 26 is your Venus card. 26 to 39 is your Mars card. And then Jupiter. Jupiter is the outer planets. That's when you get into adulthood. That's the planet of expansion. The planet of values. You reach that card when you hit 39, 40. And you really have an epiphany waking up. So Moses traveling through the wilderness for 40 years I'm not saying I know what it is. I ain't no preacher. I ain't no theologian. But if we're going to take it with a common sense approach, could that just be an allegory for usually the first 40 years of your life, you're kind of traveling through the wilderness. In your early years, you're sort of learning what it's like. You're being dictated to and you're being told what the world is when you're 8, 9, 10 years old. Then when you're 13, 14, you start to experience it firsthand for the first time. and you start to see, you know, water's hot. You get your first piece of pussy, your first time having sex. You start to see, you start to experience the things that your parents told you, good and bad. And as you get later in your teens into your early 20s, you start to be able to decide for yourself what's good and bad. And then when you get to your 20s, you really just trying everything. You've been told to go to college and live your life a certain way, and you follow that direction. And now you're getting jobs. You got a job here, you got a job there. You got fired from your first job because you got too close to your coworkers, and you realize your coworkers will want to snitch you out. And you learn that lesson. Okay, I can't be that close to my coworkers, and you know what I mean. Okay, this thing that I went to college for, it ain't really working out the way I thought it was gonna work out. Or you another brother, you was a hothead when you was at a young age and you got locked up, got put in jail, or got on child support real early because you nutted up in a chick that was fine as hell when y'all fucked when she was 18, but now she's 21, she's 27 years old, and she looked like a black version of Hacksaw Jim Duggan. And you over here realizing that shit, all pussy ain't good pussy. You learn those lessons in your 20s. Women, you know, you've been told that a man, that you don't get a man that's Prince Charming, and he's, you know, gonna sweep you off your feet and this and that. Then you realize, okay, that nigga ain't coming. It's something different than what I was told. That's your 20s. Then in your 30s, you start experiencing and living out the karma of your 20s and the decisions you made. If you made a series of good decisions in your 30s, you start putting it all together and you kind of start working it. You still don't know what it is, but you're working towards something. If you didn't learn the lesson of your 20s, you get into your 30s and you're building back and you're starting all over. And that's usually the age people go back to church. You went to church at a very young age. Then when you turned 18, you was like, mama, I'm out. I'm 18. I ain't got to come to this motherfucker no more. But people usually go back to church in their mid-30s because your mid-30s is when you start to live the karma of the bad decisions that you made in your 20s. Or you start to live the karma of the good decisions you made in your 20s. And then when you get to your 40s, whether you make good decisions or bad decisions in your 20s, and you've worked the karma out during your 30s, when you get to 40, 41, 42, you start to understand what it all meant and why you went through it. And that's the promised land. The promised land is when you start to realize what it is. Like what Frankie Beverly and May says, the golden time of day. There's a time in your life when you find out who you are. Go back and listen to that song, Golden Time of Day by Frankie Beverly and Mays. The golden time of day is when you find out who you really are. That's the golden time of day. Maybe that was the allegory for Moses. I don't know. My only thing is, if you're going to be in spiritual, get the life lessons out of it. Don't fucking take it as a religion and be like, I've been going to this church longer than you, so I'm better than you. That's where you get into that bullshit. Yeah. He said, what's up, Kenneth Berry? Do I think Brett Favre is guilty? Hell yeah, he's guilty. Fuck Brett Favre. Brett Favre. Fuck him. He guilty as hell. So, that's just what it is. You live life and you learn. But when I run across people that do what they do, and they do it with integrity, I'm impressed. Because it's so easy to not do things with integrity. And I'm not saying people are going to be perfect. Get that shit out your mind. Ain't nobody going to be perfect. People that you love are going to do things that you question. That's just life. But do they learn from it? And is that a one-off? Or does that become a pattern of behavior? That's what you have to look at. Is this fill in the blank thing a one-off, or is it something they seem to continue to do every other year? Because if it becomes a pattern of behavior, now you're dealing with a character flaw. If it's a one-off, then it was just a mistake. We should all have compassion with other black people to make mistakes. And here's the reason why I specify with other black people, to all my non-black people listening, because I do care sometimes. Here's why I specify that. Because black people already understand how to forgive white people. Black people already know very well how to see a white person do something and totally wipe it off and be open to the next white person. We do that well. Or other race people when they fuck with us. And that's the same car that did that shit last night. That's the same goddamn car. I got a neighbor, goddamn. I got an old swing shift working ass neighbor that be always making that loud ass noise, that loud ass muffler going 17 miles an hour. I should put a nail under that nigga's tire one day. YouTube, I didn't say that. Even though I might do it. Anyway. Man, I swear to God, if I see that when I see that nigga's car in the morning, I might have to, I might do some Axel Foley shit and put a banana in that bitch. Cause he be parking his car right here. I'm gonna put a banana in that motherfucker. There's a banana in my tailpipe. What's up, Frank Green? Yeah, you didn't get the notification? That's how they been. But too many of us already know how to forgive. We just forget the wrong people. So I do believe in forgiveness. But forgiving mistakes. If a person does that same mistake 2 or 3 times and about that third time, it ain't a mistake. That's a pattern of behavior. No, fuck you. Get the fuck away from me when it's that. Roland Martin consistently delivers you some bullshit. That's not a mistake. That's not a one-off. That's him playing upon our black compassion to deliver us some bullshit. I don't give a fuck how many good stories he puts out. You can count it like clockwork. That motherfucker about to do some pro-Democrat, anti-black shit. He'll be pro-black, and then boom, drop some anti-black, pro-Democrat propaganda on your ass. That's a pattern of behavior. That's much different than a real one in the media like Tesla Figaro. I love her. She cool as hell with Ben Crump. Usually that made me side-eye somebody. You cool with that mush-mouth motherfucker? But she consistently delivers the word. No matter who she's speaking to. So I can forgive her defending Mighty Joe Young Crump. I can forgive that. Because every time there's a mic put in front of her face, she's delivering the word of the Lord. What's my opinion on Dr. Boyce Watkins? He's never said anything negative about me, so I don't want to say anything negative about him. I will say this. I don't watch him as much as I used to. I used to in 2016, 2017. I watched Dr. Boyce Watkins almost every day. now I just get thrown off by some of the petty shots he be throwing. And if, to my knowledge and to his credit, I haven't heard of him throwing any petty shots lately. So maybe he's cleaned that up. And if he has cleaned that up, I will be willing to listen to him some more. But when I say petty shots, it will be in business that he wasn't involved in. And I ain't like that. And then the whole what about crime in Chicago voice be doing? He's entitled to his opinion. I respect his opinion. I'm not saying he shouldn't have his opinion on that. He has his point of view on that. I'm just not going to offer my time because my time is the most valuable thing that I have. I'm not going to offer my time to that train of thought. Let me say it that way. And you're right, Frank Green. Boyce hasn't been the same since his veneers, since them Tifas. No disrespect for Boyce Watkins. I'm not here to insult him. I think he's a good, strong black man. But his mouth, remember back in the 80s, they had like the little wind-up teeth toy where you kind of like wind it up and the teeth just starts chomping. That used to be like on Pee-wee's Playhouse and shit like that. Yeah. Ever since I miss the old Barranca mouth Boyce Watkins. I do. Remember Barranca from Street Fighter? With the Tifus? Like, Boyce Watkins had like 7 canines in the front of his teeth back in the day. That motherfucker's 2 front teeth was sharp. Boyce had sharp molars. He had that piranha grill thing going on, but it worked. I didn't have any issue with it. I never, even when Boyce's teeth was the way it was before the teeth, I didn't. And y'all know me, I'm an asshole. I be thinking of some of the worst ass jokes ever about people. I could be an asshole. But I never had anything bad to say about Boyce's teeth. You know why? Because Boyce in 2016, when he talked about the financial literacy, his point of view on a lot of things that was going on in the late Obama years, his point of view about black wealth and the need for black people. I even at one point paid for one of the Boyce Watkins classes because I'm fairly financially literate, but I forgot which one it was. But it was one of the short classes on like investments because I wanted to sharpen my mind because I hadn't done it at the time. I hadn't invested in so long because like in 2008 when all my money was just fucked up, I didn't make one dime in loans in 2000 after that market crash, and I had to cash in on my investments. It went a while before I got back into investing in the stock market. So to refresh my memory on certain things, I actually paid for one of Dr. Boyce Watkins' classes. And I thanked that class. That class gave me the information that I needed because it was a lot of stuff that I just forgot. Because when I had to file bankruptcy and start all over in my late 20s, it just for a while, I just let a lot of that shit go mentally because it was too hard to think about. Hell, I was a kid back in 1996 trying to get my parents to invest in Apple when Apple was $6.97 a share. I invested in Cisco Systems when I was 15, 1997, 16? I was 1997. 1997 is when I was 16. I've always had a knack for the stock market. But, the stock and the money that I made, it floated me through a very bad year in my life. But Boyce Watkins' class, when I was ready to re-engage, helped me a lot. So I'm going to give credit to Boyce Watkins for that. I'm not going to denigrate that man for that. I know I've said a bunch of jokes about his teeth. That's just me having fun. I'm a black American. Just because I crack some jokes on you don't mean I don't like you. But it's funny as hell watching his teeth. His teeth look like when you ever like get a black ink pen on a white piece of paper and you keep drawing a bunch of U's and connecting those U's and it goes across that whole flat piece of paper. That's how the front of Boy Swacken's teeth look. That nigga teeth look like he can finish an apple in 4.5 bites. Shake, shake, shake. Eat the stem and all. That boy got some teeth, man. Like, that nigga's mouth guard is perfect. You know how usually if you get a mouth guard, you gotta drop it in hot water and let the mouth, like for like 20 minutes, let the mouth guard melt, and then hurry up, put it in your mouth, and let it mold to your teeth. Boy, skip it all that. That nigga just putting his teeth in a mouth guard, and it's gonna work perfect because that nigga's teeth are perfect. Yeah, that nigga's teeth are perfect. He not gonna have to drop his mouth guard in hot water. He just put that hole up in his teeth and start boxing. But I don't have any personal issues with Boyce Watkins, no. I got respect for Boyce Watkins, and I thank Boyce Watkins for the information that he has sown in me, because he has sown in information in me. Even though I don't watch his channel anymore, even though I don't like a lot of the moves he's been making over the last 5 years, I don't have to like it. That man has to live his life for himself, and he has to do what he feels is best for himself. So I have no issues with Boyce Watkins. But at the same time, I have to do what I feel is best for myself. And so while I thank him for the information that he has sown in my mind, current time, I spend my time watching, other things. You dig what I'm saying? Oh, you say you saw him speak twice? I saw him. I saw Jordan. It was a very dope day at Cal State Long Beach. This was like 2016, 2017, sometime around there. Cal State Long Beach had Tariq Nasheed, Boyce Watkins, and then later that day they had Umar. And that was a very, very, very dope panel because it was a few of those black women, Democrat liberals, and this isn't to say all black women are like that. I'm just saying with these universities know which black women to choose. They're not calling the black women in this chat room. They're not calling y'all. They ain't calling y'all. Give it up. They don't want you. They don't want you. You're too smart. You're too sharp. You're too quick-witted. They want the black women that's going to say the bullshit that they want to represent black women. So what they're going to do is they're going to hire black women who they educated, and they know exactly how they think. So again, this isn't casting aspersions on all black women. These are just the black women that master know to call at the right time. They were on that panel with Tariq Nasheed and Boyce Watkins. And Boyce and Tariq was tearing their motherfucking asses up. I felt like signifying that day. Every little liberal talking point that came up, Tariq was yak, 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 yak. Yak, 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 yak. And then when Tariq was done slicing them up, Boyce was like, this is back when Boyce still had his bad teeth. So he was chomping their motherfucking ass up with those razor sharp ass teeth. Yak, 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 yak. That nigga was chewing them alive. That nigga Boyce was giving these hoes the barracuda mouth. yak, 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 yak. And then after that panel, it was like a break. And then Umar got up and spoke. But that was like my third time hearing Umar. I started listening to Umar. He came out here like in 2014, and I listened. Loved the speech. 2015, me and Craig went to that one. But it sounded a lot like the 2014 speech. And, not to say anything bad about it, So when I saw him in Long Beach, it was kind of sounding like the last time I heard him. And I had a show that night at the Comedy Union. It was funny, that same night, I had to leave Umar's speech because I had a show like with Ida Rodriguez that night. I think like she was on the same night with me, like at the Comedy Union in LA. It was like a Saturday night. This was back before Ida was famous. I think it was like on that show, it was like me, Ida, I think Tony Baker was on that show. And I think Tiffany was on that show. Tiffany Haddish. I think Tiffany was on that show. But wasn't nobody famous yet. Them niggas just was funny. So I had to leave Umar's speech to go get on stage. What's up, Delano L? What do I think about Karen Bass? She's ass. She ain't no good for black people. She speaks for Latinos. And no disrespect to the Latinos, but, the Latino politicians speak to Latinos. But the black politicians speak for Latinos. That's the problem. I'm not mad at the Latinos politicians speaking to Latinos. But when a woman runs on being black, but when it's time for you to talk, you're speaking for Latinos, I don't have much good to say about you. What's my opinion of Umar Johnson? I donated to Umar's school twice. Both times I went to see him in 2014, 2015. Over here at this church on Vermont, like in 108th. Umar's made some moves that made me be like, huh? You did what? But overall, Umar speaks for the good of black people. I'm not going to allow his bullshit that I perceive, again, because it's what I call his bullshit is just my perception. It could be something totally else going on in his mind. It could be a totally different thing happening. I don't know. But Umar is 100,000% did certain things publicly that I do not agree with. But what I agree with is irrelevant. It's significant. It really don't fucking matter what I agree with. Fact is, Umar has dropped information on how the school system is screwing over our boys, our girls too, but especially our boys. I know that because I worked in the system for 10 plus years. When I first heard Umar on Hidden Colors, Elementary Genocide, he was literally bringing voice to my day-to-day experience at work. So no matter what antics Umar may put up that you may or may not agree with, you can't tell me he ain't real when it comes to the betterment of our children. Because what made me like Umar was the fact that when I saw him on Hidden Colors, I said, yo, he's bringing voice to what I see every day at work. That's what Umar did. I was in a bad way when I saw Hidden Colors for the first time. 2014, December 2014. What was it, 2013? It was either 13 or 14. One of my comedian friends, shouts out to Smokey D's. He said to one, Kamira White had been telling me about Hidden Colors. Kamira was like, I had just met Kamira. We had just been cool for like 6-7 months at that time, but about a year. We were cool about it, but she would always be like, you need to watch Hidden Colors. You need to watch Hidden Colors. I'd be like, I watch whatever. It's just one of them, another of them ghetto DVDs you niggas is slinging. Because I never watched the R. Kelly set. A lot of the Ray J stuff, a lot of the DVDs that was hot in the hood, the shit just never interested me. So when people can say Hidden Colors, I'm thinking it's one of them old hood nigga DVDs. I'm like, I'm good. And then one night, my man Smokey D's brought the bootleg over with all 3 Hidden Colors on one DVD. So I watched it. And yeah, a fair amount of the information I knew, but that's insignificant. It was, even though I understood some of the information that was put in there, the way it's synthesized, the way they synthesized the information and made it into one story, it made things that I knew maybe historically that were isolated in a vacuum, like what the ancient Egypt stuff I knew already, but the way it was explained, it synthesized the information. So people can call Hidden Colors whatever they want about. I don't give a fuck. That DVD series synthesized information in a way that our history and what we've gone through had never been synthesized. And that's a fact. And so when I saw Dr. Welsing, I remember, oh yeah, she was that lady that used to be on Donahue. But this was before the DVR, this before the internet. Back in the 90s when people would be on TV, it was like they were on TV and then when they were gone. Like if they were a guest on a show, like if they were a guest on Jenny Jones or a guest on Jerry Springer, a guest on Maury or Oprah, they were intriguing when they were on, but tomorrow there was a new guest. And there was no internet you can follow up. You had channel 2, if you're in LA, you had channel 2, channel 4, channel 5, 7, 9, 11, and 13. And when the show was over, there was no follow-up. So even though I had seen Dr. Welsing on Donahue back in the day, that was so long, I had long forgotten about her. Hidden Colors, that was lady that was on Donahue. I had never knew who Phil Valentine was before Hidden Colors. It turned me on to Phil Valentine. It turned me on to James Smalls. Even though I kind of knew who James Smalls was because I would watch Sodnetter TV on YouTube. But it put James Smalls, Brother Kaba Kamene, it introduced me to these people. And it captivated my mind so much. What it made me do is it made me go back and get the books of everyone those people in the movie were quoting. I'll always think that. I'll always be thankful for that. And I'll always be thankful for Umar's contribution. Now, hey, Tariq, if you're listening, I've since bought those DVDs, bruh. I didn't just watch to keep the one through. I since bought. Matter of fact, bruh, I bought the DVDs at least 4 times over because I gave my parents a set. I gave my brother-in-law a set. I gave my brother a set. And I gave one of the old homies I used to play the drums in the band at church with a set. And I still got a set here at the house. So, yeah, I bought the DVDs plenty of times over, Tariq, if you're listening. But it was a bootleg that turned me on to you, bruh. But that also made me find Tariq's channel on YouTube. From there, I found Black Magic 363 on YouTube. I found them remember back before YouTube started scrubbing videos? all them old Dr. Delbert Blair talks and old Dr. Ben lectures and those old Dr. John Henry Clark and Ivan Van Sertima lectures. It's not what the tool, it's how you use the tool. It's not about people being actors or actresses. It's about what they do with it. And that's why I have so much respect for people like Tashina Arnold, because it's not about what you are, it's about what you do with it. You could either be on YouTube watching kitten videos, you could be on YouTube watching knockout videos, or you could be on YouTube listening to somebody that's going to empower you. Solid choice. As I got Jayla's candles, Jayla the self-esteem queen, I got her candles boiling right now. I'm not going to show it to y'all because my table dirty as fuck. And I'm not about cleaning it up for you niggas. I'm just not going to show it to you. Ezra said about that Big Poppy shit. Yeah, like, yeah, Umar definitely, he does certain things that make you be like, what? But look, man, I don't have the time to judge. And again, I'm not saying that shit is because I'm some old clean ass, better than thou ass nigga. No. It's just that, man, when you really start to understand how life works, man, you really understand that you don't know how life works. And you see that at the end of the day, people are just living out their cards. The best part about reading cards is dealing with people who don't want to hear it or don't believe in it. Those are the easiest niggas to read. Because at least people who at least is halfway open to it, sometimes they may try to hide, but, whatever. They can't, but they may try it. When you just don't believe in it at all, and you just like, it don't exist, oh, man, you make the reading, you make me reading you so easy. And you gonna wonder why you can't ever get me in the pinch you want to get me in. Because I'm 2 steps ahead of you, bruh. I know more about what's going on in your subconscious than you do. Just ask anybody who's ever gotten a reading from me. Just check out my Google reviews. That'll tell you. I ain't got to tell you shit. Oh, hell yeah, my song is on. I love this shit. Yeah, I keep talking over it, so I don't get a strike. Angel, come live with me in comfort. I love this shit right here. Some smooth shit, Marvin. Leon Ware production. Wanna be your lover? Wanna be your lover? Man, the drummers sound like he was playing this song with sunglasses on in a dark studio. This nigga Marvin said, he didn't say bitch, he said, girl, I want you 3 times a day. This nigga said consciousness over cunnilingus. You stupid, dude. I forgot what he said. He had went on some rant about that. I forgot all about that rant. See, I saw him be reading the chat room. You niggas be fucking saying some dumb shit that be reminding me of shit that I should have forgotten about. Like, I'm the kind of person, I'm silly. I laugh at little shit. The smallest shit will make me laugh the hardest. Like the two biggest laughs I got this month was on 5150 about 3 or 4 weeks ago. Somebody in the chat room was talking shit about Corey defending Tiffany Haddish. And Corey looked and said, "Look here, bitch." And just the way that nigga said it, I had to pause. I literally cried. I see you niggas, I was on my side. And I called Larry. I was like, "Larry, you hear this shit?" And when I called, Larry picked up the phone laughing. Me and Larry, we just know each other. He already knew what I was calling him about when I called him. Nigga, we were laughing so goddamn hard and crying. And the other big laugh I got this month was on Jason Black's show. Somebody called in to Jason Black saying some dumb shit. And Jason Black was like, "How old are you, boy?" Nigga, I laughed so hard. I mean, I was crying. And I called that nigga Larry. I was like, "Nigga, you hear this shit?" He's like, "Nah, I ain't listening to Jason Black yet." I was like, "Nigga, go ahead and listen to that shit." And when he heard that shit, niggas was, when he said, "How old are you, boy?" Because there's something about you Southern niggas. When Southern niggas say the word boy like a white man. Like, old white man, like, yeah, no one. The way you Southern niggas, the way y'all pronounce the word boy, that shit be with so much force. That shit be hilarious. Anytime a nigga from the South say boy, you gonna listen. The way niggas from the South say boy. I spoke on Coolio yesterday. Yeah, you Southern niggas. I'm a West Coast nigga. I tip my hat to you Southern niggas. When the Southern nigga says boy, nigga, you gonna at least give that motherfucker your attention real fast. Like, hold on. You gonna at least give me your attention. What's up, Trey Day? Now I've been here almost 2 hours. I didn't mean to talk to you niggas this long. Shit. I gotta be at the shooting range in the morning. Oh yeah, wife versus wife. Hey, anytime I hear niggas say, "I'm here with my wife," I don't trust that nigga. Only scandalous niggas say wife. Like, you know, you be in church and the brother Reverend Dogood be like, "Yeah, you standing up there. Yeah, that's my wife." You can guarantee you that nigga is fucking the choir director. He fucking the head joy greeter. That nigga fucking Sister Shirlene on the 3rd row. That nigga fucking Sister Marlene on the 15th row. That nigga is fucking Sister Bryant's daughter, who's in high school. You know these preachers be nasty than the motherfucker. I ain't telling you nothing you don't already know. I ain't the news. Don't get mad at me for saying it. But that's usually the nigga that be like, "That's my wife." Don't ever trust a nigga that says wife. It ain't real. No, I ain't talking about you. Yeah, no. That's a good point, S-Rep. You Southern, I'm in LA. You Southern niggas get a pass. Y'all sometimes y'all say it like that. Okay, I'll take the correction. I'm not always right. I'll take that correction, S-Rep. I'll take that. Because you have a point. I'm speaking from the perspective of a West Coast LA nigga. Any nigga here on the West Coast saying, wife, that nigga cheat. That nigga probably got 2 side babies by 2 different chicks. What's up, bring it back? Oh, hell yeah, my shit's on. Searching, 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 searching. Let me turn this shit down so I don't get a motherfucking copyright strike. Searching. No. But let me finish the point I was making earlier. This point I was making started about 60 minutes ago. And let me finish it. When I was talking about meeting Tashina Arnold. The hug that she gave me, I felt the love. And it felt so good getting that love for someone who I already had a high level of respect for. And I told y'all that on this very show just a week ago. And I had such a perfect day yesterday. I got to see Anderson .Paak come out and play the drums with the Free Nationals. Got to see the God Herbie Hancock with the God Terrence Blanchard, with the young guys Elena Penderhughes and Justin Tyson on drums. I had the best seats of the season. My seats were on the 6th row, dead center. Mind you, the Hollywood Bowl seats 18,000 people. And my seats were on the... I be trying to get them sold. Them tickets are so hard to get. But I was on the 6th row, dead center, listening to my favorite current band, the Free Nationals, with one of my all-time favorite musicians of all time. 2 of my all-time favorites, Terrence Blanchard and Herbie Hancock. 2 of my favorites, Justin Tyson on drums, because I love his work with Robert Glasper. And Elena Penderhughes, I love her work with Christian Scott. And I'm with my wife, nigga, my best friend. Me and my wife, this past Wednesday was the end of the jazz series. My wife and I first started going to the Hollywood Bowl Jazz Wednesdays when we was 18, 1999. My wife went off to Duke University. When she was living at Duke, she would come back in the summertime. We was just friends back then. 2000, we saw Al Green there. Went back in 2001. We saw the Count Basie Orchestra. Count Basie, of course, was dead, but he still had a live members from his orchestra. And the Count Basie Orchestra. And we saw, and every summer back then, we would go like to one song. We would go like to 1 or 2 shows a summer. And then when we got to like 2007, 2006, we started going like every Wednesday. And we would sit at the top by the cheap $1 seats and walk down and sit in the $60 seats. And we did that for like a decade, buying the $1 seats or the $8 seats. And then we started getting boxes like 6 years ago. That's me and my wife's thing. Man, yesterday was perfect. It was perfect when the night was over with. And then I met somebody who I already have the highest level of love and respect for. That's a motherfucking day, nigga. Let me tell y'all something. You better journal your wins. Let me say that again. You better journal your wins because we have a negativity bias. We're so quick to go to our losses and replay our losses in our minds over and over and over again. So when you have a win, when you have a good day, you better journal that motherfucker and have appreciation. Ah, shit. I'm over here. Can y'all hear me? Hell yeah, week has been great since the shroom break. Yeah, since the shroom trip, yes. The week has been great since the shroom trip. The week has been awesome since the shroom trip. That's why you gotta have shroom trips. Shroom trips tell you what's coming. They tell you what's up. If you tap in, if you wise about your shroom trips, you gotta be wise about your shroom trips. You gotta go in there with an intention. You gotta go in there with a certain intent of a high vibration. And you'll get that. If you go in just to be a dumbass and you'll just have a dumbass experience. But if you go in for a spiritual experience of understanding, knowledge, and knowing, you'll get that in return. And since then, I've had a great week. But today I had some things happen that, tried to challenge my inner peace. And that goes back to why we started today's show. It goes back to why we started today's show. And what was that? Keeping your inner peace. Inner peace ain't some fake ass smile you give people. It ain't you walking around, dressed to the nines in your car you can't really afford, flow showing the people. That's not what don't let them disturb your peace is. Most people turn that into some external thing. Well, I'm going to show you. I'm going to look this way. I'm going to wear this. I'm going to say that. I'm going to stand next to this celebrity. I'm going to show that I know this person. That's not what it's about. When they say keep your peace, that's about keeping your confidence and knowing that you're great. And when people come to you to cut you down and say things to make you not feel great, you knowing that that is just their outer projection. That's just them throwing the slime that they feel about themselves onto you. And it's your job to continue to live the high vibrational character you are. That's what we talk about when we talk about our interstellar connection. It's not about not being on Earth. It's about knowing that you're bigger than this. And you're bigger than anything negative that anyone has to say about you. You're bigger than any slight any cut, any jab anyone throws. Anything that they say or do that makes you kind of like twinge a little bit. Like you ain't gonna say nothing because it wasn't big enough for you to say nothing, but you're gonna be like, huh? You're gonna feel something a certain kind of way. Believe that. And keep your inner peace. No human on earth should ever be powerful enough to disrupt your inner peace. But when you have good things happen to you, things that are great, vacillate on that. Spin on that. Show appreciation for that to ensure that you attract more. You say you wait until spring for your next mushroom trip? Shit. That trip is going to be great. Hell, I'm thinking about doing a microdose trip tomorrow. Cause my last trip, I won't call it a microdose because it's 4 grams, but 4 grams to me is a microdose. A trip to me is at least 7 grams of shrooms. That's a full trip. Lately, I've been doing like 3 grams, 4 grams. I might do like 2 grams tomorrow night for it. I have half a bar. So that half a bar is probably like 1.7 grams. That's going to be tomorrow's trip. What's up, Morris? But I've been here over 2 hours, y'all. I'm about to get the fuck up out of here. It's good talking to y'all. Get my book. Get a book of reading. Discount is available through tomorrow. If you book before tomorrow, type in discount code September for 20% off your reading. I'm out. Oh, and download the caffeine app, nigga.